Good morning from New York. Today I'll be presenting the importance of July 4th to spiritual growth, healing of hearts, wise freedom, and the 2024 presidential election. Well, let's talk about this. Now, July 4th was a declaration of independence for the United States of America. It has since then become a beacon of hope to the world. And it was an act of independence from a king. And an act of promotion of people choosing and living under law, which had been abridged by the King of England. The colonies had no representation, and so goodbye. So, how is that helpful to spiritual growth? Well, spiritual growth is a growth in the capacity to love yourself, love others, and connect to your own inner artist, the freedom to imagine and reimagine your world. The healing of hearts, the importance of July 4th and not having a king means that human rights become important. System of law instead of a dictatorship is much more, it's not just more fair, it's a place where love can grow, where people aren't discriminated against, where people's rights are still upheld. This is absolutely essential to healing hearts. It gives them hope. It's the right. Some basic rights were outlined by the founding fathers as the right to pursue happiness. So that's, and a happy heart is a healthy heart. It's why I chose that. But of course, there were more rights than that. Wise freedom. Wise freedom takes a little bit of understanding. It's not licensed to do anything you want. That creates a lot of needless conflict and harm. So, wise freedom is a balance of powers foundational to the birth of our nation. Was this freedom from a king? Well, if you have freedom of a king, you still need a government. So, wise freedom means that you divide up powers. and means that the president should not be immune to the law. He can get away with anything he wants. And a dictatorship, therefore, is against spiritual growth, healing of hearts, and wise freedom. With the balance of powers, you avoid something called the corruption that's inherent in power. Absolute power is absolutely corrupting. And the phrase is power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So now we move to the 2024 presidential election and to the fallen Republican Party, who no longer holds to these basic principles in supporting absolutely presidential powers that are like a monarch. Well, they didn't just allow that in the Supreme Court decision made because you have been electing Republicans under Trump who were loyal to Trump. That poison entered into our Supreme Court. So it was not just empowering the president, but allowing the Republican-controlled, the poisoned Republican control to make and decide what the presidential powers should be on a whim. They can decide that, so that if this poisoned party doesn't get a president, they're hoping that his powers might be abridged, might be lessened. When their party's president gets into office, he becomes a monarch. He becomes above the law completely. Now, this is how deep that poison has gone into our country. It's against spiritual growth. It's against the healing of hearts. It's against wise freedom. The very foundational concepts of July 4th. So as we celebrate July 4th, make a decision and be sure to vote for Joe Biden. It's not, and let me tell you this. If you're listening to the media right now, they want a horse race. So they're willing to take a guy who lies constantly through a debate, not fact check him, and call him the winner of the debate. How can you win by lying in a debate? Every debate should be fact checked. Something that would make the now poisoned Republican Party squirm. And that's what it should have happened. Joe won that debate. And it's a choice between a guy who might have had an off night, was maybe a little sick, he had a cold. He has always had a stuttering problem. But one thing he never lost sight of it still holds to are these foundational principles. It is dangerous to vote for Trump. It is dangerous right now to vote for any Republican at all. You're going to say, oh, you want a channel that's popular. No, I want a channel that tells the truth. Okay? Don't care. If you're part of the poison, and this isn't your channel, that's fine with me. And Trump's threats of vengeance, his wanting to create, destroy the boundary between government and religion, and create a singular religion for the country. Really? And they say it's Christian nationalism, right? Christian nationalism. History teaches us a lot. When you're looking at history, you will see that some Christians were running from other Christians in Europe. That was happening. They were running away from persecution of their particular take on religion. When they came over to these shores, they didn't immediately get it that a singular religion is a bad idea. They just wanted their religion to be that one religion. Well, they all called themselves Christians, but they were killing each other over whether you should baptize a baby or not, or whether or not you should be sprinkled or dunked in baptism. All right? Killing each other, friends. Killing each other. And so you have to ask the question, what Christian religion are you even choosing? Maybe that new religion is the evangelical position. Well, that means Catholics won't be considered Christian enough, perhaps. Yeah. Think about it. That and that punishing aspect, that dive toward, well, that's what you get when you put religion and the state, the government together. You're enforcing that religion. And the way that happens is you're punishing people who don't share that. So you be very careful when you vote. Try to vote. Don't try. Vote. There's just so many options and ways to vote now. You make sure you vote. And vote Democratic. You have no other choice right now because the Republican Party is all poisoned. If you don't believe that, check out the Lincoln Project. They're telling you what's up. Check out the fact that Trump is not supported by his own vice president, who was he was a good man. Disagree with him. And that's our right in this country to disagree. But he's a good man. So you think about that And, it's a sad day when one of our parties sinks that low. You've been brought up many times that there's flaws. There are flaws in both parties, and that once upon a time, the Democratic Party was the more evil party. It was the party of the South and slavery. Yeah. But it's not that way now. We, because of these principles, we've begun to get rid of that poison of slavery and holding to the truth that all are created equal. And yeah, and it's kind of funny that the Republican Party began to imbibe the that leaning toward racism that you still saw traces of at that time in the Democratic Party, wanting those votes so they could win elections. Yeah, and all across the Bible Belt, to be honest, all across that section of the country, you saw people rushing away from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party. Yeah. Of course, in a diverse country with many cultures and many people, the value of perspectives is held up. And that diversity is something that they're also against. Now, this poisoned Republican Party, this now most evil Republican Party. Not that there's the Democratic Party really doesn't. It holds to these basic values. You can disagree one way or another on how good or evil any political party might be, but they're holding to the basic principles that help us to grow spiritually, to heal hearts, and to create a kind of wise freedom based on the division of powers. That's boom. There's no choice. In this coming election, you need to teach that poison party a lesson. And you can do it. You have that power. Vote for Joe Biden and the Democrats. And vote in the primaries. I hear so many people say, we don't have any choices to vote. Vote in your primaries. You should have got rid of Trump in the Republican primary. You should have got rid of that poison, and you did not. Maybe because a lot of you didn't vote in those primaries. I don't know. Or there wasn't enough people in the Republican Party who wasn't eager for the poison. You also wonder how. Okay, I've talked about the problem with the media right now and how they're presenting things. Well, Joe Biden holds to those principles. And all of this hand-wringing from the Democrats, saying, oh, he stumbled. He should have cleaned Trump's clock. And he didn't. Well, how do you debate a liar? Put yourself in his shoes. How do you debate somebody who doesn't have the good intention of presenting evidence for their opinion. I mean, that's what a debate should be about, isn't it? You know, a lot of our debates are a joke, but you know, it's what it should be about. That means fact checking, bringing their hands. Look, we've got a powerful young lady who's the vice president. So what are you afraid of? That Joe Biden's going to follow her dead? Well, we've had assassinations. We've had, you know, a lot of people in government that have died while in office. President Roosevelt died. You know, it wasn't the end of the world. And we've got Kamala waiting in the wings. And if you take off your poison glasses and take a good look at Kamala, she's a powerful woman. And she's supporting Joe. If you loved your Barack Obama, he's supporting Joe. You know, quit wringing your hands. I mean, he's in good hands. And he doesn't make, presidents don't make decisions alone unless they're a dictator. And Joe's not a dictator. So you don't have to worry about that. With aging Trump, you do, because his decisions are not group decisions. You know, he just makes a decision on his own and wants everybody to follow it. So that could be a real problem as he's breaking down, and the way he talks in word salad sometimes. You know, I mean, he's talking about somebody who's messed up. That's Trump. You know. And by the way, Joe's wife is really terrific too, and she's behind him. And many of Trump's wives are not for Trump. I don't think. And if the one he's with had an ounce of self-respect, she wouldn't be for him either. You know. So I'm just saying, you know, that might be a little mean, but really. And you know, you could say that about Hillary. You know, yeah, you could. But in that case, you know, Hillary was schooling her husband behind closed doors. It's a strong and good woman, so it's not the same thing. Nobody's schooling Trump. She's just caving to him. You know, you could see that, but at the same time, you can see some of the unhappy looks on their faces. If someone important made a comment about cutting the sound off and watching the eyes of Trump in that debate, he looks like a liar. You know, and as they say, if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. He's a liar. Yeah, they can be very revealing. Just cut off the sound and watch the face. What you see. Joe Biden is, he's calm, rational. You see that in his face. He cares about the country more More, I'd say, even than he cares about himself. He didn't step in when his son was in trouble. He let the law be the law. Yeah. His actions at the border were more wise. He'd been looking for a bipartisan bill because he's not a dictator. But that poison party, in the Senate, actually, they came to an agreement on the border. But Trump jumped in, and the poison party all followed him, voted it down. A bill that would have done enormous good at the border, and in a way that is more kind, not razor wire along our shores. Picture that. What, a razor wire all around the country? Oh, it sounds like I don't know. What is that? Gulag? I don't know how to describe that. It's an ugly picture of people that are hateful. Speaking of hateful, think about some of the things that Trump said. He makes fun of the handicapped. Yeah. Everybody's got some kind of handicap, and not in just golf. We've all got our handicaps. Well, what if he starts making fun of you? Think about it. But he makes fun of the handicapped. Come on. He's a bully. Yeah, not only makes fun of them, but says to a 4-star general that our troops that died on D-Day were suckers. And then he says that the 4-star general was lying. Really? And then some of his sycophants are saying, "Well, we didn't hear anything." I was on nowhere near the site where he made that comment, and I didn't hear either, and that's not proof that he didn't say it. But I would bet on the 4-star general. Why would a 4-star general say something like that? Think about it. The one lying is Trump. And he called our troops at D-Day suckers. So if you're in the military and you're a veteran and you're voting for Trump, wow. He said that McCain, wasn't a war hero because he was captured. Wow. Really? He was captured and tortured. And he wasn't a hero to him. Got to be kidding. And our troops at D-Day were not suckers. So, yeah. Yeah. I could have stayed off of this topic, but intermind communication in the way of the mystic, well, it speaks volumes. And it speaks to freedom, to the valuing of every heart, to human rights. Well, I'll end with my Irish blessing. You heard it before, well, you gotta hear it again. You can laugh about my singing, it's not great. But just think of me as an old grandpa that you're tolerating. Yeah, hopefully. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand, or her hand, or its hand, however you see the source of all love. And remember the great physicist who said, we are the universe knowing itself. You are wonderful no matter who you are, whether you agree with me or not. You are a wonder and a part of a wonder. Carl Sagan was a great physicist, and he was mentor to another. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Watch Star Talk. You really enjoy that. You know, I list a few channels that I think are great at the end. Please do subscribe if you're on the love team, the Echo love team that is this channel. If you're part of the team, let us know. Subscribe to the channel, comment, and share the videos and that you agree with. You don't have to agree with all of them. Or me. Share those videos and that you like. And do comment. Let me know you're out there. Let me know what you're thinking. Because that's how we grow. Don't trust anybody who's trying to set themselves up as a dictator or a god. Anyway, there's a greeting and a goodbye used in India that says what Carl Sagan said. And that greeting and goodbye is namaste. So, make a better day today. Make a great day today. You know, you can do it. And namaste.